YouTube, what's good? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to show you how you can make objects fly or float in your videos. It will probably look something like this. Okay, cool. So now that you have a basic idea of what we're going to have the end result look like, I'm going to show you what you'll need to actually achieve this. So starting off, first thing, you need a green screen. Personally, I'm just using a green sheet of paper. You don't need to go all extreme with anything. It's just quite cheap. You can get green paper. Secondly, I have a Lazy Susan. This kind of makes stuff a lot easier. You can do it by hand or just turning it in any sort of way you would like, but using one of these really makes it a lot easier and gets you to dial in the focus perfectly. And then lastly, you need some small thing to prop up the product that you'll be using. It can be anything from sponges to little bottle caps. Whatever you want to use, it's possible to use. So that's what we'll be doing, and to be honest, I think that's all you need. Besides that, I'm just going to use one light to make it a lot more easier. Don't need a whole insane light setup. With that said, let's just hop into it and I'll show you where to start. Okay, cool. So this is the setup I have at the moment. You have your paper background or the green screen at the back, and then on top of your Lazy Susan we have the product propped up. What your aim for this is just to have consistent lighting on the product, as well as having your camera kind of eye level towards the product, so you have it like nice and straight on the subject, which will make it a lot easier in post once we start keying everything out. So with that said, let's just take some videos of this thing rotating, because as you can see with this little Lazy Susan, we're gonna have the product spin around and we're gonna just record it maybe spinning around a few times. We don't need a lot of content. Yeah, let's just do that and then we can hop into the computer where all the magic happens. Okay, so once you filmed your clip and you're happy with how it came out, I just did a rough one just to get this example across and make sure you understand it easily. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna throw this into your editing software. I'm using Premiere for this one, but this probably will work in most editing softwares. So once you're done, you can see if I scroll down, it's just the product spinning in a circle in front of this green screen. What you want to do is, first off, you can trim this clip to make sure it fits well. For me, I'm gonna make sure it starts where it's the front logo of the product, and then I'm gonna clip it using Q, and then I'm gonna make sure it does one full rotation till where it started, which is there, and then I'll press W to cut the end off. So now we have our clip of this thing spinning. What you want to do is go into effects, search for the phrase called ultra key, and drag this onto your clip. This will allow you to key out the background and make sure we can actually delete the product from its background. So with that, you can go into your effects control, scroll down and you'll see ultra key there at the bottom. Then you can come to the key color, select this eyedropper tool and just come up to your screen and select the color you kind of want to key out. For us it's this green color, and boom, as you can see straight away it kind of looks clean of how it like cut out the background, but there's still a lot we don't want in this clip, and that's where a mask will come in. So as you can see, the clip is kind of keyed out well. We can even zoom in a bit so that you can see properly, but like what we want to do is just if it's needed, because sometimes I've found it's needed that you just have to clean up the clip a bit. And then how you're going to do that, if you go to your control effects control panel again, there's a few settings you can play around with regarding your ultra key, and this is where you can just play around and make sure it looks perfect and that there's no like spill or any of the key going onto the product itself. So, but for us, this looks kind of right, so I'm not even gonna manage or try to play around with that. But next up is gonna be using a mask. So let's go select our clip and then just go to opacity and then select the free draw like tool. This is what we're gonna use to mask out. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna zoom in so you can see the bottom of the product where it's like standing on that little stool. Let me just zoom in a bit. Okay, cool. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go through frame by frame and just mask out the bottom part of the, sorry if it looks like I'm looking down, but the laptop is on my lap. And then what you're gonna do is just move this thing around, make sure it's clean. You can move around some of the points just so it's roughly where you want it. We can move through and see if it looks right. Okay, that looks cool. And then you can just complete the whole mask around your product. The rest is quite easy. I think the most tedious part is the bottom. I think it's better if you take time and make it look nice. I'm just making a rough outline just to get the idea across. If you want to see a more in-depth tutorial on how to mask things out and use the masking tool, please feel free to leave it down below in the comments and maybe I can start making a video on that. But yeah, so once you completed your whole mask, you can zoom out again and see that your whole product is masked out. We can just select it and see how it looks like once it's spinning. To be honest, for this example, I think that is perfect. What you'll need to do is now you can play around with the actual clip itself by making it more dynamic and make it look like it's flying out the screen. So select this clip and in your effects control panel, you'll go to your position and scale where the motion settings are, and then you're gonna select these like animation time settings. Gonna select rotation, scale and position. So what you're gonna do is go to the start of your clip and scale this clip down to like maybe 35% looks chilled. And then what you're gonna do is you can rotate it either way. I'm just gonna rotate it almost like 30 degrees to the right, and then you go to the end of your clip. This is where you're gonna kind of fix what you did. So we're gonna make a key, or like make a keyframe, and then just reset everything kind of to where it was. So the rotation would be 0 and the scale will put back to 100, and I play it, scroll through it, you can see it kind of looks like it's flying out in front of you. So with that, we can select that and nest the clip to make it one final edit, and then we're going to use speed ramping to make it a bit more interesting and not as slow, because at the moment it's almost 10 seconds for something that shouldn't be that long. So drag up your timeline, go up to the effects icon and press time remapping and then speed. This will allow you to use the speed ramping. So then you can come down, select the pen tool and just scroll to where you think the product should start slowing down. To be honest, I think that looks perfect. And then what you're going to do is just use your selection tool and drag up the first half of your clip. To be honest, I'm just going to make it real quick. Maybe, yeah, 600% looks a bit crazy. And then for the rest, you can, if you want, leave it where it is, as this was shot in 100 frames a second. But you can also slow it down if you want to make it even more slowed down and smooth. But let's leave it for that like now. If we play it back, you can see that looks a lot cooler from where we started, as it actually looks like something that you'll see on Instagram or a decent product video. And there you have it, guys. That's a basic tutorial on how you can make things fly in your videos. I know there's a lot more you can do with it and make it a lot more interesting, but I just wanted to focus on the basics as this tutorial is more towards beginners, and I just wanted to make you understand what the concept is of how you can achieve this for yourself. So I really hope you enjoyed watching me show you how to do this, and I really hope you learned something new. And with that said, please don't forget to like or subscribe. It really helps out the channel. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. I'll make sure to get to everyone who comments. Thank you for watching the video, and see you in the next one.